Okay, we're on to our last video on expanding these soda brackets. Okay, let's have a look at what's different about these. Okay, we still have two terms. We still have a subtraction, subtracting the second term like we had before, but notice we don't have a number in front of that second bracket. So what we have to do is put a number there, and obviously the number that would go there, if we don't put a number there, it's 1. So now I've got to subtract 1 times that, and that becomes, again, I changed that to add a negative, so adding -1, and I changed subtracting 5 to adding -5. Okay, now we can pretty much proceed as before. To start with, I've got nothing to do with the 2pq. It's not multiplied by anything, so I can just copy that. Okay, plus, and I've got -1 times 3pq. Well, -1 times 3 is -3 pq plus, and I've got -1 times -5. A negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, let's simplify. I've got 2pq plus -3pq. Well, what is 2 plus -3? I've got $2 in one pocket, a debt of $3 or a bill for $3 in the other pocket. So I pay off as much as I can, but I still have -1, a debt of $1. So 2 plus -3 is -1 plus 5. Okay, well that's correct. We can probably simplify it a little bit. We don't normally write the 1, so I'll just write that as -pq plus 5, and we'll leave it like that. Okay, have a go at the next two on your own, please. Again, every time you see a subtraction, add the negative. If there's no number in front of the brackets, put a 1 there and then go plus -1. And similarly, you got 3 subtractions down there. Okay, pause the video and try the next two on your own, please. Okie doke, hopefully you found those pretty easy by now. So doing the second question, I'm going to change subtract to add the negative. There's no number in front of the brackets, so I'm going to change it to a 1 and then change it to plus -1. That looks too much like a 7. I might just go ahead and redo that. I'll just put a single vertical stroke plus -1. So now everything is add. 4k times k. K times k is k squared plus 4k times -3. Well, 4 times -3 is -12. K plus -1 times k is -1k plus -1 times 5 is -5. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment. Again, we only have one k squared term, so I can just write that. I've got -12k plus -1k. Adding two debts gives me a bigger debt. Plus -13k plus -5. And again, you can leave it like that with just all the pluses. Or if you want to match what's probably in the back of the textbook, you change plus -13, to subtract 13, and you change plus -5 to subtract 5. Okay, now the last one, I'll try to make it as challenging as possible. So we have a negative number, a subtraction, a subtraction, a subtraction. But if we just follow the process, it's actually no harder than the ones above it. Okay, first off, I change subtract 6 to plus -6. Here I put a 1 in front of the second bracket and change it to plus negative. Here I change that to plus, and again, I'll put a 1 there since there's no coefficient in front of it. Okay, everything is now add, so we can just go ahead and expand. Oops, and I didn't do it up there. Let's be consistent and up there. Catching up, I got good notes. Okay, negative 2y times 4y is negative 8y plus negative 2y times negative 6. Negative times a negative is a positive, so that's positive 12y plus negative 1 times 8 is negative 8 plus negative 1 times 1 is negative 1y squared. Negative 1y squared. So I get a positive 1 times a 1 is a negative 1, y squared. Okay, can we add any terms together? Well, I've got a negative 8y plus a 12y. I've got a bill for $8, plus I've got $12. I pay off the bill, I still have $4. So that's 4y. I think I'll do the plus negative 8. I might just write it as subtract 8, save having to erase it. And plus negative 1y squared, I can write that as just subtract y squared. We don't normally write the 1 in the final answer. And that pretty much is expanding and simplifying brackets like these. There's some more you'll see shortly.